EC22X here again with another video about a new team I have created. There were some inspirations this with PC2 by Joe X, and then the meta has been changing consistently. This is at the end of the video I'm doing around before the new series that's going on right now. This is actually pretty cool, and we're gonna do it a little bit different from how you usually do videos. Instead of like showing you guys just multiple battles and explaining a little bit of my train of thoughts, I wanted to like explain how this team works. At the start of the season, Tapu Fini was not as popular, but it started slowly rising to popularity, and actually that's one reason why I actually didn't want to use Among Us. But Tapu Fini, while still being number one, is still not as prevalent, at least in the latter from what I've seen as much. Instead, right now, as I am gonna be posting a video, the meta was a lot of Thunders, Nightliu, and Urshifer. So this team has a lot of things really cool about it, especially with weather control. So Venusaur Torgo is getting very popular too. And it's always been pretty strong out of all the weathers in my opinion. So that's why we have a T-Tar. T-Tar will control the weather, change the weather, help out with the sun counter. We also have Gastro and Among Us is a really fun combo, and I'm gonna be showing it because if the opponent doesn't bring Tapu Fini, Gastro and Among Us can go super wild, sleep both of their Pokemons, and it's a double risk, and it actually got to pull it off pretty well. It was really fun to use. Gastro also obviously is a good counter for Tapu Fini, especially because you can have like Rotom Heat next to it, and then it won't try to do. It will like be boosting your Gastro when it tries to do Moody Water, or if it's a weird one where it has like Scald, it's also very helpful. We did give this Ice Beam because we wanted to have a counter for a lot of the Thunders we have seen, and a lot of like mons that are weak to ice. Additionally, another really cool combo of this team is actually Thunders and Landers. Seeing as Thunders is defiant, chances of your opponent actually trying to like bring their intimidate user against you will be really dangerous. So you are free to use it. I mean, it's not in a matchup, but then you can EQ, and both of them are flying. Additionally, Thunderous is actually really cool. You both getting even super faster. You could even change the Landorus to be a Salpes a little if you wanted to choose that. But yeah, that's another good entry. So with a couple things I did try when building this team was Thunderous, Landorus, Gastro and Among Us. If the team you're gonna be fighting is a little passive, and then Rotom and T-Tar were usually be putting more in the back. They definitely were not my starters, and then Mushroom was dependent. Since, like I said, Tapu Fini is still prevalent, you have to be playing very smart around that terrain to allow the sleeps to be happening. Anyway, let's go talk to a couple of battles that I had. Alright, so this is a battle actually participating in one of those local tournaments we have online. And we are fighting Jackie Boy, who has a Gastrodon, Persian, Cinderace, Hunter, Crustle, and Duradulon. It's actually a pretty unique team. I feel like it's very passive besides Cinderace. Obviously, if they start Cinderace, we are a little bit screwed up. But I'm thinking they're going to be trying like a sort of a gimmick here with Hunter and Crustle potentially. They could even start Persian. I think they might expect me to see them starting a Cinderace, but in my opinion, they should have started a Cinderace. And this is actually a pretty good battle because I actually showcasing the power of the double sleep, and I really like this. And there's nothing like they actually ended up forfeiting, and I felt a little bit bad when you get double sleep the way it is. But yeah, I believe they were trying to do a gimmick, and I out gimmicked them with mine. And this is how it usually happens with them. Like their team is actually really good, but I can tell that power wise, they depend on Shell Smash on their Crustle and Duradulon and Cinderace potentially in the back or doing stuff like that, which is not bad. But I think with the potential of like nothing to stop my sleeps, they should have 100% start like with a Pokemon that cool set up terrain or just like uh nuke my mushroom. All right, so they start Crustle and Persian. They're actually probably gonna sleep me, so I'm gonna sleep the Crustle and John the Crustle too because he's gonna fake out one of my two Pokemons, and which is completely fine because I know what they're gonna be trying to do. I am pretty sure they either they do a weakness policy or they do Shell Smash. And here we go. They do end up faking out my mushroom, which sucks because, like I said, my general. But the thing is, they let me actually just draw their Crustle with my Gastrodon. Now I am fine to sleep the Persian this time, or I could return my Gastrodon, but it's like there's really no reason to swap if I don't want to. They're probably not gonna Dynamax their Crustle anymore. They cool if they wanted to, but then they will waste two of their turns. Then I'm gonna Spore the Crustle, and then we're just gonna Max Skull. I mean, spore the Persian, and then Max Skull the Crustle. And I think this is actually really, really selfish of them. It's super risky because I have Gastrodon in your face, and you still Shell Smash. So I think that's a little. I don't know what my opponent was thinking. I think that was a little disrespectful to my Gastrodon, even if mine was kind of. Or imagine if I actually have had the kind that will just do what's it called? If I was the kind that had acid armor, because this Gastrodon doesn't. We replaced acid armor with John. Imagine if I had let me set up acid armor. So I wouldn't be just like super thick and stuff. And it's very unfortunately. And okay, so they were Sash, which is pretty good for us to know. But now they go to sleep because they decided to do Earthquake and hoping to like kill or do some damage to either of my Pokemons, and they done. So I can ignore the Crustle if I want to. I could do now Giga Drain onto Hunter, but I probably just gonna be safe. Giga Drain the Crustle because I just want it dead, and then I could just Ice Beam the Hunter, kill it. I mean, Earth Power the Hunter, but I mean, remember it has Levitate, which is very funny and about this aspect. So I could just go Ice Beam or Skull. I think Skull's probably the best thing to do right now. But yeah, and right now my opponent is just sleeping. They can choose whenever or not they want to keep staying or not. And this is what I really like. I joined the combo. It's a very passive combo, but they also play really passive. So I punish their passiveness with my 2 months right now. Right? They lost Crustle because it was their main teammate, and I really hope they have one more Pokemon we haven't found out. I'm really hoping it's like Cinderace or is what's it called? I hope it's Cinderace or Duradulon because they need some power now. They depended too much on their Shell Smash Crustle, and I don't agree with that. I think that's very, very dangerous from them. Additionally, they brought Hunter and they brought Persian, right? So they had two supports, which I mean technically I kind of have two supports, but I mean Gastrodon can do a lot of power, so I don't agree with that a lot. So they can afford another fake out here. It's just completely fine with me. I could just protect, but I really don't care about the fake out damage. And I could just jump Persian. Obviously here I'm playing very risky. Ideally you go for protecting protecting my Among Us a little bit longer because he doesn't want me to see his last Pokemon. They have not shown the last Pokemon. Hunter actually is still sleeping and could wake up, but I'm taking the risk. So once again, they decide to fake out my Among Us, which is completely fine with me. We John the Persian, and we'll see what the Persian does next, because they could return or let it. We get leftovers. Gastrodon is slowly healing up. I still have 2 great months in the back. Among Us has done its job. We're gonna bring in Thunderous, just in case that they should be bringing a potential Pokemon that could like sweep us. So I'm gonna return Among Us, We bring Thunderous because I want to save T-Tar depending on what the last Pokemon is. And then this should kill Hunter. There's obviously a chance. Okay, so they really, really don't want to risk killing losing their Persian, which is actually really strange in my opinion. So this change to Thunderous is actually not the worst for us, because they brought Duraludon. So Duraludon is their last Pokemon. And this Skull, let's see if we kill it. Oh, damn it, so close. Okay, so the Skull doesn't kill the Hunter. It would have been really, really nice to kill, because I actually don't want a Dynamax here. I could do Fly, because I know Duraludon is not faster than me, but I don't want to do that. I want to force them to Dynamax first. So we're just going to bring T-Tar out. Less tuners in the back. And then we probably could go for another John. But here's the risky part. Do I John? Or do I kill Hunter? And I think I'd rather kill Hunter at this point. And then instead... Okay, so they decide can cancel the battle. They forfeit. And it's painful to look at, but it is what it is. And I hope you guys enjoyed that part. Let's go to our next battle. So fun fact. I thought I had done samples of Thunderous and Landorus starters, but I didn't. It looks like I committed to Gastrodon Among Us very much. So anyway, then this next team, this fight, I wanted to showcase a fight where I wouldn't be winning, because winning always always be like, oh wow, this team is so awesome. This is actually a fight that I should have won had I been more aggressive. One of the things to know that when you start with Gastrodon Among Us, you play a little bit more defenses. It's a little bit more slow. A lot of my battles didn't go to timer, but they felt way longer than usual in my battles. So that's one thing to keep in mind, is that you either choose to be aggressive or you slowly trickle in. And I see in this team, I think they're similar to mine in a sense. I know who their aggressors are, and I just have to play very smart. And I didn't play very smart, to be quite honest. It's actually really funny, and I will just show you what happens. But yeah, I committed to the Gastrodon Among Us lead because there was nothing really stopping it for it. So they start with Nihilego and Zapdos. This is actually a funny thing about Nihilego. Most of them are going to be Power Herb. So most of them are just going to be immediately trying to either Dynamax and save their Power Herb, or they just get that Power Herb usage at first turn. And here's the thing, you can predict that. You actually can predict, it's well, you're gonna do that, I could just protect. Or if you don't want to risk it and you want to respect your opponent, and we're here, I could have just protected my Mushroom instead of Rage Powder. But I wanted to see what they were gonna do, and they withdrew their Nihilego, okay, and they bring Spectres, which is actually not a bad choice. Both of their Pokemons now are way faster than my Pokemons. I want to see what Thunderous does now. I mean, not Thunder, Zapdos. Zapdos goes for Brave Bird, so they were actually going for potentially my Among Us, which is very unfortunate. I think that was really risky of my opponent, because I decided to play it safer. And we get the Burn Spectre, that's actually huge. They decided not to respect the Mushroom Spore. I could have easily spored their Zapdos instead. But it is what it is. So we're going to protect the Mushroom this time. Both of them, like I said, Pokemons are faster. I'm really trying to read if they're going to be oh, he's going to Rage Powder me. And they go for a Snarl, which is... I can respect that. The Snarl doesn't miss, unfortunately, but they were going to... So probably I'm going to lose Gastrodon here. So, I mean, the Protect was still the right choice. And Gastrodon survives that, which is pretty good, but our defense is actually pretty bad. So they are probably going to Snarl me again. Oh, yeah, that's so bad. I think we could potentially kill it otherwise. So I'm pretty sure she's gonna just try to Snarl me again. Spectre is definitely a problem. This is one of those where maybe I should have gone with the sleep right away. So my opponent, I feel kind of disrespected the potential of my Among Us. Because they did Brave Bird. What if I was Cobra Berry? So if I was Cobra Berry, probably better. But it's a little... So we avoid the attack, which is really huge. The mushroom avoiding attack is really, really huge. So I actually get to do a spore if I wanted to. And I think I might have done a spore. I forgot. But yeah, Gastrodon is dead. It is what it is for that. But yeah, turn 1, I go out being aggressive with my sleeps like I did on my last battle. I decided not to because I didn't think they were going to return their Nihilego. And then yeah, now their Spectre is burned. Their Zapdos is sleeping. We got really lucky with that. We got what I missed. So I can't bring T-Tar until I kill that freaking both. Actually, I need to kill both Spectre and Zapdos though. Bringing T-Tar out is very, very risky for me. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna trick them. I want some sand damage because we're just gonna have to wait for the both of his. He's not gonna Dynamax either of those Pokemons at this point. They're pretty low. So we could go over Rock Slide or Protect, but I want to do a swap here. Just bait the T-Tar on them. Because T-Tar is my win condition in the end. I forgot if I protected. No, I shouldn't have protected. But yeah, Mushroom is dead here, which is very... Oh wait, no. Mushroom is in on that. Okay, no, I think I misplaced here. No. Yes. I misplayed here because I wanted to save my Mushroom. We avoid the Will-O-Wisp, and I expected that. I expected it to be a Will-O-Wisp. So we don't miss our Rock Slide, which is huge. And we KO both of their Pokemons without Dynamaxing yet. So this is actually pretty good for us, right? We are... They're 2 Pokemon down. They have to Dynamax next turn. And my Mushroom is still safe. It has regen, so it's probably going to have some health back. Because if I kept Mushroom there, Mushroom will have died to Sand. Which, you know, we didn't want that. So now they bring their Nihilego. So Nihilego gets brought up, and then they have a Clefairy, which is probably the worst thing that could have happened to us. And here's where I think I should have Dynamax, potentially. And I didn't because I wanted to do the Rock Slide, right? So I went a little greedy. I needed the Nasty Plug because I was thinking about Dynamaxing Rotom potentially, but I decided to play safer. Went for a Protect. They Dynamax their Nihilego, which is, like I said, it's their only option, which is fine. They still have the Power Herb, which is scary. And who are you going after? But yeah, I needed the Rock Slide because, yeah, they respected the chance that I was gonna Rock Slide. And I agree with that. So who are you going for? So I went Max Rockfall. That's on my T-Tar, isn't it? Yeah. So they decided to go for my T-Tar and get a crit, which sucks. But it is like probably the worst case scenario for them to have like Nihilego in the back. I think I almost wish they hadn't. And now I'm like, well, you're gonna potentially die. So they should. Here I think I should have tried Dynamaxing my Rotom. That's kind of iffy. I wanted to save my T-Tar for a little bit later, especially with like the Clefairy. But yeah, I think the move was knowing that they were gonna respect my double Rock Slide chances was actually just Dynamaxing and probably like Max Darkness instead. But we didn't do that, so it is what it is. Oh, I actually did Dynamax Rotom. Oopsie. So they actually went for the follow me this time. They Max Rock for probably my T-Tar again. Oh, they didn't. Okay. So I think I run out of time. And I think that was really bad for me. But yeah, their Clefairy being awake is that this is really, really unfortunate. So I have two choices. I have to sleep the Naya Ligo. But I thought that they wouldn't. I don't know why I thought about this, but I went for Max Gar, thinking that they were gonna go for mushroom. Thinking they were gonna go for Titar regardless, because Titar is so weak, right? Why wouldn't why you could they could risk the unless the Clefairy had nothing, they could risk killing Titar first over my mushroom, but they actually ended up killing my mushroom and my max guard was useless, and that just turned the point to GG's. I mean, yeah, the point of this battle was that my opponent didn't respect my double sleep at the start, and I decided not to punish him for that. The second part, we got lucky with the RNG, 100%. We just, we were not lucky enough that we didn't have the speed control. I didn't sleep when it mattered. I did bad reads. For example, here, I could have just slept Clefairy. Because they still had to follow me, right? Clefairy was the annoying thing. But they were faster, though. They did get a double speed boost, which is very, very unfortunate. But yeah, it's just mistake after mistake. And then the fact that I didn't Dynamax T-Tar at the start, knowing that they were gonna target my T-Tar instead of my Rotom Heat. I don't know why I didn't double protect, but I did very, very bad read series to my opponent. And I mean, thankfully I still can kill something. But the fact that I max guarded turn 1 instead of killing the Clefairy last turn was huge here. Because he's gonna miss. Like, the RNG was there. The RNG was there for me to have a chance. But I didn't get to abuse it. I would have felt bad winning that battle the way I did. Had I played a little bit smarter. But yeah, we avoid the attack. We get the kill on Clefairy. And that's really, that my opponent kept me in check. They respected that there was a chance that they could miss, and seeing as they're faster, and now the Sandstorm subside and stuff like that, like, they kept me in check pretty well, and I can respect that. So yeah, I shouldn't have Max Guard turn 1. And then I will have cleared Clefairy this turn, and then I could have just Max Roll full Naya Ligo. But I don't know if they will have to go for a Sludge Bomb. Yeah, there we go. So they went for the safer move this turn, knowing it's like, okay, I'm not gonna do Meteor Beam or whatever. So it's actually pretty funny. But yeah, those are instant battles, guys. I hope you enjoy it. Like I said, I wanted to show you a video where I win and then when I lose. And I hope you guys this change things and it helps you out better. Until next time, bye!